What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I actually have a very special guest here. It's my boy Faiz.
What's up, guys?
Basically, in this video, it's gonna be a pretty chill one. We're just gonna talk more so about, your kind of come up story, the reason why you decided to start e-commerce, and just more so like a background on you.
I'm Faiz. I'm 21 years old and I live in Miami. Cam and I have been friends for, I think, 3 years now. We actually met because he was watching me on YouTube and he wanted to do like a consulting call. We got on the phone, I was in LA, and then ever since then, the friendship has just blossomed into something very great. So I'm very happy to be on this channel. I've been dropshipping for, I think, 5 years now. It's crazy to even say that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I really hated the school system growing up. I think it was my sophomore year in high school that I kind of just decided that I don't care about, algebra or like any of this really non-applicable stuff.
Yeah.
And I needed to find a way to make a living without having to use a degree. And I come from a brown Middle Eastern household, so they have very traditional values of going to college, getting a degree, and just like kind of conforming to societal norms. It's their version of the American dream. So it's a lot of pressure whenever you're a brown kid to kind of please your parents. But I was a rebellious one and I didn't really care too much about what they thought. We always fought every single day. I'm like, I don't want to do school, blah, blah, blah. I learned about e-commerce through one of my very, very good friends. His name is Andrew McCarthy. I don't think I'd even be in this position that I am today without Andrew.
Shout out Andrew.
Yeah, shout out Andrew. He introduced me to dropshipping because he was running a dropshipping brand, and at the time I had a clothing store. It was called Paradise Ave, and I basically went to a screen printer. I designed some things on Photoshop because my background is more creative. I used to edit videos, shoot photos, and do all that kind of stuff. So I wanted a way to be able to monetize that without having to deal with people so often.
So monetize what you already liked.
Exactly.
Interesting.
So I already knew what I was interested in. I was interested in fashion and interested in clothing, but I had no idea where to start. So I put up an Instagram page. I made a logo with Photoshop because I had a little bit of knowledge. And, I just started to come up with designs and throw them onto like t-shirt mock-ups. And I kind of was able to build a following on the Instagram page by using the follow to unfollow method. So I would build up the profile. It looked like a nice Tumblr-ish sort of profile. This is like back in 2017.
It's funny, I did the same thing.
Yeah. When that sort of aesthetic was popular. And I was just going to like influencers that had clothing brands, and I knew that they had a cult following, and I was going on their most recent pictures that they would post. I would go through the likes and I would individually go and follow each and every single one of those people, and I would also DM them too until Instagram would hit me with the DM limit. So that worked very well initially. That brand ended up fizzling out. It did very well for a little bit, very well considering I had no experience at all. I would just do print on demand, so I would make samples of the clothing first. I would post it on the Instagram to gauge like how many people actually want to buy it. And based on that, we would do like a pre-order system, and people would just be buying things, and I would go to the screen printer and get that amount printed. So it was a whole like print on demand system. I was doing this like drop shipping stuff before I even knew what drop
That's crazy, honestly.
And that's how my path with Andrew, that's how it crossed. We did like a giveaway together because his brand reached out to mine, and it was similar because it was like ocean themed. And he taught me about drop shipping, told me what it was. He gave me like pointers on where to start on YouTube. YouTube is how I learned. YouTube University is amazing.
Crazy.
Like educators like us come on here to teach you how to do things. So, if you're watching this video, you're in the right place to learn how to, get started, because I was in that same exact position. So I was a sophomore in high school when I learned about dropshipping, and I was just like binge watching YouTube videos. Like Sebas Bedoya was the number one that I loved so much. And we ended up becoming best friends too, which is like, it's crazy how the world works. But shout out Sebas. Who are some other like OG ecom guys? Sebastian Esqueda was also really big for me too. Like I used to watch his stuff all the time. Yeah. I was always very invested into learning for free. I didn't buy any courses. I didn't do anything like that at all. I just started to test products. I was building these stores because I had an eye for, how to make a logo.
So you're like super creative.
Yes. So with everything that I always do, I always like to put a very creative emphasis into, the output.
How important did you think putting that creativity, into into like your products and your brand? Like how much you think that like really benefited you?
I think initially it didn't really matter that much because back in like 2017, 2018, you could find like any sort of a viral product and just make it work. And I was using like Twitter impressions, so we would tweet things and get these big accounts to retweet. We were doing free plus shipping and just like regular offers that were really trendy back in the day. I say back in the day, like it's 10 years ago. So I got my traction with that, and then I learned a little bit about Facebook ads, and that's when things really changed for me because I was able to test out more products and test out new creatives and utilize like Instagram story ads. That did really well for me. Everything, like I said, was always very branded. I did a very cool logo. I did a very cool website.
And were people around you kind of taking that same brand approach that you were doing?
Yeah. I saw a lot of people that would see me selling a product and they would kind of copy that sort of aesthetic and copy those ads. A lot of times people would literally rip the ads that I would make and just paste their logo over mine. So that's the kind of stuff that I was, putting out. And I think content is very, very important, especially in this day and age. Again, like utilizing TikTok and doing all of that is very, very important. So definitely put an emphasis on content and the way that you make things look.
Definitely. And what was kind of like the most pivotal moment in your life when, you wanted to go, 100%, into e-commerce, you didn't want to go to college. So can you kind of like talk more about that experience?
I remember that moment very, very, very vividly. It's crazy that I still like it. It seems like just yesterday, but I was sitting in my high school physics class and I had taken like a test and I knew that I didn't do good on the test, but at that same time, I had a store that was making me like $25,000 a month in sales and about like, I'd say 45 or 50% net because cost per purchase back then, like there was almost no competition back in the day on Facebook, which is crazy. That was kind of the pivotal point is when I started to hit the 5-figure a month profit mark and I was 16 years old.
That's actually
so that is like, that is like a really, really good thing. That success was very short-lived because I had payment processor issues and like supplier issues and all of that. So that store ended up dying off and I didn't really make any more money for the rest of my, I think it was junior year that was, because I was just testing products every now and then and one would work and I'd make a little bit of money, but it was never consistent.
People in school thinking that you're absolutely crazy. How did you kind of like not have those negative opinions?
In my freshman year of school, I used to be like very sociable and I used to have like a big friend group and I used to be friends with a lot of people. But when I started to make the money, I kind of cut everyone off and I would just go to school, do my thing and leave and not talk to anyone else. There was always like maybe 1 or 2 people that I still talked to and they stuck around and they didn't really care too much about what I was doing. They just liked me for me, which is like,
the best.
Yeah, it was super sweet for sure. You just gotta kind of silence out the noise because those people's opinions are not getting you paid. Even in this day and age, we have people talking shit about us and saying bad things. But like, are the things that they're saying, are they getting us paid?
Exactly.
No, they're not.
Never.
So learn how to like silence it out and toughen up your mentality because maybe you do have to be a loner for a little while to get what you want.
Definitely. Whenever you first started off e-commerce, right, what was it like, experiencing, maybe like your first couple of sales or like, your first $1,000 a day? For me, at least, I honestly felt a lot more enjoyment out of that than, reaching 7 figures online. Like, was that a moment, like a crazy moment for you?
First sale I ever got was an influencer post that I had done on one of these like very girly pages. I was advertising a phone case, like a crystal phone case or something like that. And I remember I was sitting in Chili's. It was like October of 2018. I was with my aunt and I was at Chili's for some reason.
Chili's.
And I had checked my phone and I got a sale for $29.99. And this was like the first money that I have ever generated through Shopify, and at that moment I knew that okay, I got one sale, I can do more. But that store ended up again fizzling out, not really doing anything crazy, but it was like a crazy dopamine hit that I got. So that first sale was great. First $1,000 day was also just like mind blowing to see that much money can come in one day.
Yeah.
And then not too long after the first $1,000 day, I had a $10,000 day because I just scaled up.
That's actually really crazy.
Yeah, I scaled up what was working. It was Black Friday and it was just like a 10K day. It was amazing to see.
What's really like your main reason why, you went full force in e-commerce? Was it like the freedom and like what was like the life with it? Like what was kind of the reason?
I think that e-commerce provides a lot of freedom if you allow it to. You can be doing anything and still be a slave to your work.
For sure.
But e-commerce gave me the freedom to be able to like go wherever I want, do whatever I want, and not have any sort of qualifications to run the thing. And it also allowed me to put my creativity into a lot of the work that I'm putting out, because making ads is a lot of fun, designing emails is a lot of fun, you know, making the website is a lot of fun. Like the whole process to me is very enjoyable. So that's why I kind of just found my calling with it. And I think to even reach that next level, I think starting the brand was definitely something that was a great idea. I think that is what changed everything for me.
Exactly.
Got me out of dropshipping. Not that dropshipping is a bad thing, but I think to get to the next level, you have to kind of figure out what you want to build a legacy behind. You can't build a dropshipping legacy. Like you don't want to be known to your kids as a dropshipper. You want to be known as, you know, that guy that owns that brand.
We actually have the OG packaging right here.
The brand did very well for, you know, the first year, and then I personally, just like, you know this, like my motivation died down and I didn't really care to pursue it, and I just started trading and I just started to do a bunch of different things and avoided the one thing that motivated me the most. So now, like, thankfully, I've fallen back in love with the brand, and
for sure,
you know, we're doing a rebrand and announcing new products and doing all that stuff.
Your brand's crazy, product's crazy too. Actually took one of the gummies. I was out.
Really? Oh, you tried the gummies?
I tried both of the gummies.
Wow, I got new gummies actually.
Oh really?
Yes.
I'm not the product test those real quick.
I have the packs. I'll bring them.
Shout out Sweet Dreams.
Shout out Sweet Dreams. I mean, even this thing, like, it put me on the map. Like, people know me for this, and they know me for the NFT project also. Right. I love to get into markets where I see that there's fit for something that is loud and something that is different, because that's how it should be. You should be trying to, like, not conform with the norm, but go outside of the box and do something different, but also still fall in line with, obviously, like, a winning product. And you don't want to be in a niche that's not making money.
Exactly. So you're able to kind of take, you know, like, everything you learned from just drop shipping before you know, turn this to a real brand, and you also took your creativity skills and kind of combined them both, you know, to be making like a really crazy brand. So that's insane. Can you talk more about just the experience of really why you decided to, you know, go just from drop shipping but into actually making a real brand? Yeah,
so it came to a point, funny enough, where drop shipping just wasn't really giving me the satisfaction that I was looking forward to. Initially, yes, it's great, but after a while it just becomes repetitive, and I'm a very emotional person and I love to enjoy things that I do. I think a lot of people can relate.
1000%.
So build a sort of passion project that also helps people and solves a problem, and is not, you know, a Chinese product. It's like, this is fully customized and made in the US. I think just, again, building something real that can really help people and gives me more of a purpose and more of something to pursue on a daily basis. I think that's what the biggest motivating factor was for me. And also, you know, you hear about people exiting brands for hundreds of millions of dollars and doing all of that. So that was also a big part of it too. I'm not gonna lie, like, it's not just a passion project. I want to make millions of dollars with the company too. So it's a little bit of both, but it
has to be both.
It's like having a child. It's like not having a child and then you have a child. You have something to live for and something to...
At 21.
Yeah, I'm actually a father of 3. I got 3 kids back at home.
What's something that you would tell my subscribers, right?
Honestly, like, silencing out the noise is a very hard thing to do. It's more of like on a personal level. There's a lot of people that let other people's thoughts get to you. And the harsh reality of it is that not everyone watching this is going to be successful. There's going to be people that fail and they have to live like a normal life. But there are definitely ways that you can make it work. And I think it just starts with you and the way that you interact with people. You don't have to care about what people have to say. You just have to be purpose-driven and find your purpose, because not everyone is going to do e-commerce. Maybe your calling is something else. But regardless of what you do, you just have to maintain that strong mindset of not caring about what people have to say and knowing your end goal. And knowing that, you know, Cam's opinion is not going to hinder your performance in getting from point A to point Z. So, you know, again, it's more of like a personal thing. Like, you just have to know the way that you interact with people, but you just have to want it. You have to want it really, really bad. You can't just want it, you have to live for it, and you have to fucking die for it.
So do you think making, your own money, not having a boss, does that tie into having freedom, like actually taking control of your life? Because, there's a harsh reality that, in order to really be free, like you're gonna have to live life your own way without a schedule. So do you think money kind of ties into that?
Yeah, for sure. I think it does. I don't think that everyone can just become an entrepreneur from day one. Like you have to find some sort of a way to make money. Either one, you are lucky and you inherit the money. Two, you get a loan from a bank, which I don't recommend doing.
Mm-hmm.
Three, you can pick up like a very simple job like Uber Eats or driving for Uber or doing DoorDash or something like that. Flip items, like whatever it may be, you need some sort of a starting point to obviously test products and do this kind of stuff. You can't just start from zero. There's truly no way to start from zero. You need to have a credit card in order to start a Shopify store. So there's a lot of prerequisites that you need to actually get started. But kind of getting back to that freedom part, I think even if you work for yourself, I don't think that you're truly free, because there's always some sort of an obligation that needs to be done before you go out and travel the world or do whatever. There's always something that is going to hold you back that you have to be responsible for. So there's truly no freedom until you're finally done with everything, is how I feel at least. But I know people that work like 9-to-5 jobs that still are very free because they work from home, or they have very lenient bosses, or they have a good position in the company. So I think freedom is very subjective to the lifestyle that you live and what you think freedom means. But I'd say, we're pretty free. We can do whatever we want, whenever we want, because we have our laptops and we can work from them, or we take phone calls. So we can really be anywhere in the world and be able to do our job. I think that is freedom. Okay. I think I said a lot.
Yeah, okay. Hello, you dropped hella gems, bro.
Good.
Hella gems. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap it up.
All right, cool.